Hello, Hannah Chelsea, the Baby Maven here, and I am so excited to welcome you to today's expert interview. We have so much good stuff to discuss today, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to today's guest expert, Jessica Benson. I know that you're just going to love her. Jessica is a diaper-free natural living specialist. She loves helping families get their little ones out of diapers, babies and toddlers alike. So now I'm going to pass it over to Jessica so she can share a bit about herself and how she got into the biz.
Hi, Hannah. It's great to be with you today. So I got into my business of teaching mamas about elimination communication because I heard about elimination communication, also known as EC, about 2 years before I was even thinking about getting pregnant. And I thought it was so amazing, and I just couldn't believe that babies have this capability, and I was so excited to practice it with my future children. And then fast forward a couple years later, when I had my son, he was born, and I realized I actually didn't have any idea how to get started. And I had like a million questions, and I didn't know anybody else doing it, and so I felt totally lost. And so I didn't start from birth, which is what I wanted to do. I ended up starting 3 months later, after those 3 first crazy months, after your baby's born, had sort of calmed down. And I found a book by Andrea Olson called, it used to be called EC Simplified, and now it's called Go Diaper Free. And thankfully I found this book, and it showed all the steps on how to get started. And so I finally started, and I loved practicing EC, but I still had a million questions, and I wish I knew other people who did it, and I just wish that I had support. And so that inspired me to provide support to other mamas, the support that I wished that I had.
That's wonderful. I love it that you started from a place of really trying to fulfill something that you were craving in your life, because it is such a necessary thing for people to know more about EC, and I feel like it's never really talked about, and it's such a fascinating practice. So I would love for you to start out, if you don't mind, kind of sharing what exactly elimination communication is.
Sure. So elimination communication, as I said, you can also call it EC, much shorter. It's the practice of like expanding your awareness about your baby's need to eliminate, and offering your baby the opportunity to go pee or poo outside of the diaper. So some people choose to go totally diaper free. They don't use diapers, but really the majority of people do use diapers as a backup, because in our society it's just a lot less stressful to have that security. So we're aware of our baby's need when they need to sleep or when they need to eat, and it's not something that you really spend that much time thinking about. So you can just widen your awareness and also start to let that information from your baby in about when they need to go. And once you open your mind to that, it also comes with the same sort of ease as knowing when they're sleepy or hungry.
That's really cool. So how do you know when your baby needs to go? Are there some like telltale signs?
Yeah. So with time, you'll start to, learn more about your baby. And for example, a lot of moms who don't even do EC, they know when their baby has to poop, right? They got a poop face. So that's one really telltale sign. Another really common one is if you have them in the baby carrier and they're like kicking their legs against you, that usually means that they need to pee. And I think it just means that they're like trying to create some space between you and them so they have the room to pee. And you'll also start to learn your baby's natural timing, like how often they need to pee. And like, for example, it could be like, every 30 minutes, or it could be 15 minutes after feeding, or immediately upon waking, things like that. So you'll just start to learn your baby's natural timing, because every baby's different. And you'll also, the coolest one is you will start to have intuition about it. And you'll just be doing, you know, cooking dinner, and then all of a sudden you'll have this thought, oh, baby needs to pee. And you're usually right once you've reached that place of like really being in tune. So you don't even have to spend time thinking about it, just comes to you. So it's pretty neat.
That's fascinating. When you were saying that, you know, that there are certain signs and that like a lot of new moms can recognize that like, oh yeah, that's the poop face. Is it in general, do you start with one and then work towards the other? Like, is it easier to start EC with like trying to catch when they need to poo because they do that like telltale poop face? Or
that's a great question. Yeah. You know, I think every baby's different, so every mom will have a different experience about what's easier, pee or poo. I've heard moms say either way, but that is a really great way to start EC. Like if you've never started before and you see your baby doing a poop face, take the diaper off and, you know, try. And I'll show you right now how you can hold them. So you'll have them against you like this, and you'll hold their legs like this. And you can hold them over a little mini potty or over a big toilet, or the most comfortable is actually just to hold them over the bathroom sink. That way you're standing straight and you're comfortable, and you have the bathroom mirror in front of you, and so your baby sees themselves and you're watching too. And so if you see the poop face, take the diaper off, hold them over the bathroom sink and see if you catch something. If you catch something, I know you'll just be totally floored and you'll just want to keep seeing what else you can catch.
that's wonderful. It's, you know, you get like, maybe you'll get a little surprise.
Yeah.
What is the best age to start? I know that you said that you had hoped to start at birth, and that with your son, it wound up being closer to like the 3-month mark.
Yeah, so as I said, you can start from birth. EC is generally practiced between the ages of 0 to 18 months. So really you can start anytime in between that. Of course, ideally you start at the beginning, you know, 0 to 4 months is great. But if your baby is older than that, then you can start today. It's totally fine. I would say that if your baby is older than 12 months though, you can start, but just keep in mind that you could actually start potty training at 18 months. So, you know, you can start, but just keep in mind that you can be done with diapers really soon.
That's a nice thought.
Yeah.
I know that you had mentioned that especially here in the States, a lot of families find it easier and less stressful to practice EC part-time and kind of rely on diapers for, you know, just kind of as like a fallback. Could you describe kind of like what that looks like?
Yeah. So if you want to do EC part-time, like for example, if you are working outside of the home, you could commit to doing EC when you're together at home, like in the mornings before you go to work, and then in the afternoon in the evening when you're together, and on the weekends. And EC looks different for every family. You know, some families even choose to only do it when they're at home and not when they're out in public or at a friend's house. And also I'd like to say that you can start really small. You don't have to just make a big commitment to like just stitching diapers. Like I said, if you see your baby do a poop face, take the diaper off and offer them. And that's a huge, huge step. You know, that's not something that anyone does. So, you know, taking those baby steps is a really positive thing.
Very cool. And the way that you described it, it makes it sound like, okay, it doesn't have to be this overwhelming commitment of like, all right, starting tomorrow, we're never using a diaper again. That
Right.
You can take the time to transition and find what the best fit is for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I'm curious about is what in general do families do overnight?
So again, every family is different. There are people who choose to go diaper free at night. And when their baby wakes up, they'll usually have like a little potty station set up with like a little mini potty or some large container to hold them over to pee. And so whenever their baby wakes up, like to have milk or something, you can give your baby that opportunity to go pee. And a lot of people say that that helps their baby go to sleep really quickly, that sometimes babies might be having a hard time going back to sleep when they wake up in the middle of the night because they either need to pee or they just peed and they're uncomfortable.
Oh, that's very interesting. I never thought about that. That maybe it was just like the pee that is causing them to like not settle.
Yeah.
Could you tell us some of the benefits of practicing elimination communication?
Yeah. So one of the ones that I'm most passionate about is the environmental aspect, keeping diapers out of landfills. And if you use cloth, then you're washing them less, using less resources. And then it's great for the baby to keep that awareness intact about her body. Because when we use diapers full time, our babies lose that awareness that they're born with, because our babies have an instinct from birth to stay clean and dry, and they want to pee somewhere else. They don't want to pee on themselves. They don't want to pee on you or in their bed. So if you can hang on to that awareness, then that's really positive for your baby. And that's how you can be done with diapers much sooner than the average child, because the average child has lost that awareness, so they have to find that again. And the benefit for the mom is to have that strong bond with baby, to be in tune, to feel like so connected that you're taking care of, you're aware of all of the needs, when they need to sleep, when they need to eat, when they need to go pee or poo, when they need to be held. It's like extra connected. And it's just so amazing to catch a pee and poo, and like, especially if you had that intuition, you're like, I just had an intuition that she had to pee and it was right. It's fun.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. I can see how this form of communication could be so beneficial, just to like that bond for mommy and baby, or the whole family, whoever is, doing this. Just because the baby really gets to feel like, oh, okay, they're understanding what I'm needing, they're meeting those needs, and then it must be so rewarding as the parent.
Yeah.
To also
I love that you say the whole family, because even my mom, she was visiting. She doesn't live near me, but she was visiting, and she was able to catch peas, and she felt so awesome, so connected to her grandson. It was really special.
That's wonderful. So I'm curious, how do people know if practicing EC is a good fit for them? Like, is there a certain type of client that this generally works best for?
I would like to think that EC is for anyone who is just interested in this idea that we don't have to use diapers, that diapers can be seen as a convenience item, and we can use them as a tool. We can take them off when we don't want to use them. And anyone who just likes the idea of returning to more natural lifestyle, natural ways, And some people have this idea that it's only for like stay-at-home moms, but as I was saying before, you can do it part-time and do it when you're at home with your child.
Awesome. Yeah. How long in general does this practice take each day?
So that's a really good question, because practicing EC does take up more sort of brain space, because you're expanding your awareness to something that you weren't paying attention to before, but it's not necessarily taking more of your time or minutes of the day, because you would still be changing diapers and taking care of your baby. So it's not more time.
Okay. That's cool. I don't know why I was thinking like, oh, this is something you'd have to make time for and add it into your day, when it's like, well, how many diapers a day do you change? Like if you just put those few minutes into actually, taking that diaper off, going into the bathroom and holding your baby over the sink, that
Mhm.
it's probably just about equivalent. And I'm sure
Right.
it's easier as you get more used to it and you're getting better at reading the signs.
Yeah, yeah. And just to give an example, like compare changing a poopy diaper. That could take a while, especially if you had a poop explosion. It's all over the clothes, the onesie, the legs, the changing mat. It's everywhere. You're there cleaning the poop when there's the alternative of taking the diaper off, holding them over the sink or the toilet, and just it's so clean, and you don't have to use like baby wipes even. I would always just splash water directly from the faucet of the sink and just clean his bottom like that. Blot it dry with a towel, and then you're done.
Awesome. So how long, is there a general time frame of how long it'll take before your baby doesn't need diapers, or is it really dependent on the family?
It really depends on the family because, well, I'll go back and say this, that most families are done with diapers between the ages of 12 and 24 months. So that's sort of that's a year variant. With my son, we were done with diapers at 19 months. And I think with my future children, we'll be done sooner. So that's another thing. If you're like a new parent, even if you've been doing EC, I was doing EC from 3 months, it's still your first time doing it. So you're not always aware like how soon you can be done. But a lot of children can be done by the time they start walking.
Okay, very cool. Something else that I was curious about was what does EC look like in like other countries? Because I thought that I had heard about it before it was in the States more, like in other countries.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a huge expert on what other countries do, but I do love to hear and learn about that. I know that in some cultures, EC is just the norm, and they don't have a name for it. It's just what they're doing. And some cultures start from birth, and then others I've heard start around 6 months. And I've also heard that some cultures focus on nighttime EC first. Like they want to make sure that their baby is keeping the bed dry. That's their priority. And then once they've got that down pat, then they'll start focusing on the daytime.
Very cool. That's interesting. I like knowing that it's kind of like a whole world type of thing, that other people out there are doing it too.
Yeah. And then some, I'm sure you've seen like pictures in China, some babies wear like split crotch pants. And I don't remember where I heard this story, but I thought it was really interesting. Someone was traveling in India, and she noticed that the moms they were riding on a bus, and she noticed that the moms with babies would get off of the bus when they would stop to offer the babies to pee, and then they'd get back on. And everyone was clean and dry. There wasn't poop and pee everywhere, and it was just like a cultural shock. Like, wow, this is possible. Like babies can stay clean and dry and be in control of that, and the moms can be in tune with it.
That's really cool to hear like what's going on in other countries. I like that story. You've added so much like cool knowledge about EC to our discussion today, and I know that our viewers are going to be so excited to learn more and connect with you. So would you mind sharing with us kind of some of the ways that viewers can connect, or any resources that you'd suggest to give them more information on EC and see how they can start doing this?
Yes, absolutely. So I have put together a free guide, and you can get it from my website. You can go to jessicabenson.com/start, and it's just like an infographic with just everything condensed, just to help you get started, like how to take your baby to go potty today. And if you're interested in learning more, then I highly recommend the book Go Diaper Free. And you can find that also at my website, jessicabenson.com/go diaper free. And it's a how-to book. It's how I learned, goes through all of the steps. And then also, if you would like to meet other people practicing, you can join my Facebook group. And that is called the Diaper Free Village. And you can find that at jessicabenson.com/village.
Awesome. So just as a reminder for all of our viewers, could you tell them the name of your business again?
Yes, well, it's just my name, Jessica Benson. And I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
It's a nice, clean name, Jessica.
Yeah, just
I like that. People will be able to find you then.
Yes.
What are you all about?
I'm all about creating community for mamas and helping them be done with diapers.
I love it. What is one snippet of advice you'd like to share with our viewers today?
I would love if whoever is watching this took the very bold step to, if they see their baby do a poop face or a wiggly leg kick when they're carrying them, to take the diaper off and offer them to go potty and see what happens.
Awesome. And so for all you viewers out there, Jessica was kind enough to pull together a little giveaway. And you can head over to her Facebook group, which is called the Diaper Free Village. It's jessicabenson.com/village. The link is also going to be in the email that you received with this video. And if you go to her Facebook group and post one picture of you, bonus points if you post a picture of you taking your baby to go potty. One entry will be selected at random, and that person will receive a copy of Tiny Potty, which is a word book for ages 6 months and up, and it's super cute. Jessica showed it to me.
Here it is.
Isn't that just great? So one of you is going to win that. You just have to go to Jessica's Facebook group, follow the link through the email that I sent you, and that book could potentially be yours if you are the random person that's picked.
It's a book that's made for babies 6 months and up.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Jessica, for taking time to talk to us about EC today. It's something that needs to be talked about because everybody, literally everybody, can start this practice today.
I just remembered one thing I forgot to mention, that I'm doing a free webinar called No More Poopy Diapers. If you'd like to learn more, I'm going to explain how to get started, how to know when your baby has to go potty, and answer all of your questions. So if you'd like to sign up for that, it's totally free. You can go to jessicabenson.com/webinar.
Awesome. And I'll make sure that that link is also in that email that you guys received so that you can take advantage of that. Jessica, when is that webinar airing?
It's going to be on February 9th.
Okay. Awesome. Viewers, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. It was lovely having you with us. And until next time, go diaper free.